What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Glory Boys podcast. Yeah,
Hey.
I'm Darren.
Get it. I'm Austin.
And we're back. We're excited. It's going to be a great episode. Today, we are talking about how we price our services.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Let's hit that intro.
Let's do it. What's up, Glory Gang? Welcome back. We're excited to be here with you. Are you excited?
I'm excited. Hope you guys are doing great on your Wednesday evening.
Yeah.
Getting some time off, sitting back, watching the podcast, hopefully.
Or listening.
Some popcorn.
Ooh.
And chilling, cuddling on the couch, maybe.
I love popcorn.
Same.
Just freshly popped popcorn. Dang. I haven't been to a movie theater in so long.
I actually just went.
You did?
2 nights ago. Yeah.
Where?
I went to Oakview AMC.
Dang.
No. I went to Exarban Cinema, actually.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, I went and saw Cruella.
What's that?
It's a Disney movie about Cruella DeVille and her backstory.
Cool.
Yeah, it was actually pretty good. Had Emma Stone in it, so how can you go wrong there?
That's fair. Did you get popcorn?
I did get popcorn.
Nice.
Yes.
I would have to do
And
that.
I smashed a box of cookie dough bites and maybe most of a bag of chewy sweet tarts.
Sick.
The next day was rough.
Dang.
We'll just leave it at that.
That sounds like a gut bomb.
It was.
But it sounds fire
the
and it
next
sounds
day,
fun.
like all morning on Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
It was just bad news bears
Just
for
a
me.
bad day.
Yep.
Dang, on Sunday. Good thing you weren't on worship.
It is a good thing. I probably wouldn't have done it if I were on worship, but it is a really good thing. I was not having to get up at 4:50 a.m. to get to church for worship.
That's right. But I think, popcorn is a perfect segue.
Perfect segue
into
to talk about pricing. Yes.
Because popcorn costs something.
That's true.
And so does our video pricing.
Yes.
And our video services. So let's chat a little bit about what do we charge. I think I honestly think this is the question of all questions. When you start a company, you're like, I don't know what to charge. I don't know what I'm worth. I don't know if I can. It's like the biggest lingering, biggest thing that I've struggled with personally in my own business when I first started. When we first started, we had no idea what to charge. We watched YouTube videos, we asked business owners, but unfortunately, other business owners that don't own video production companies, they don't know what to charge for a video. So then you get into, okay, what is it worth hourly? Or what's this 30-second video worth? Or this 1 minute video? I mean, there's a million different ways. Yep. How long did it take to shoot? How long did it take to edit? How long did it take to, be on the phone with the client? How long did it take to do pre-production and think about all the ideas that you did and download all the assets and license the song? I mean, there's so many different factors that could make the price fluctuate a lot.
Yep.
So I guess what did we do in the beginning? What did we just flat out, what did we do? If somebody hit us up or gave us a call, which happened all the time. Yeah, so I need a video. This is the question everyone asks.
For sure.
I need some video.
Yeah, I need a video. How much is it for a video?
That's a question.
Yeah, it is. Well, here's the thing, guys. We all, this if you've ever edited a video. We've done 30-second videos that took way more time than 5-minute long videos.
Yep.
So right off the bat, you can't price based on the length of the video. Nope. That has very little to do with the actual cost investment that you're putting into it.
Right.
And so early on, we really sucked at this.
We were terrible.
I mean, we didn't. I think we did a combination of things. First off, we had somewhat of an idea of the market price of video. Yeah. So through working with other people, through what we knew of different people and how they charged and kind of understanding we were pretty new. So obviously we can't charge what some people are charging that have been doing it for 10 years, which isn't necessarily even true. Yeah. It should be based on your skill level and time and all that stuff. Anyways, we'll get into that.
Yep.
But early on we were just okay, what's a number that after doing a few projects, what do we need to bring in if we're doing this number of shoots in a month or whatever? And it can be very, very hard to predict, especially if you don't do weddings. If you do weddings, it's even easier to predict because you can actually book things out in advance. You kind of know what's coming up.
Right.
But if you don't do weddings or things that book months in advance, it can be very, very hard to do this because you don't even know well, if I price my services at X dollar amount, maybe I won't get as many jobs.
Sure.
So then am I hurting myself by doing that? Should I do more jobs for less money? Whatever. And I think initially what we did is we set a price, and that was kind of like, this is what we'll do for a video. I think it was like $2,000 or something like that.
Like we wouldn't do anything less than that?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, we finally got to that. That took us a while to get there though.
Sure.
Because I think you would talk to a client one day, you'd be like, oh, this job is worth $1,000 easy. And then I would be on a client call and I would be like, oh, this is worth $5,000 easy. And you're like, I was thinking 1,000.
Yeah.
And we had no way. That happened a lot actually.
Yeah, we'd be like on the phone and they'd be like, yeah, how much is this going to cost? And we'd be like, 1 second.
Mute.
Put them on mute. All right. So what do you think this is worth?
I was thinking like 1,500. Oh, I was thinking like 3,000. 2,000? Yeah, sounds good.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
All right, sir. Thank you so much for holding. It's going to be around about $2,000.
Yeah. Our calculations show that approximately $2,000 is going to be right where we're going to be at.
Yep.
Was pretty much what we did.
It worked, but it was a terrible system.
Yeah. Because I mean, the thing is, they don't really know either, unless they've done this a lot. And honestly, in our market, that's not a thing.
No.
Like people don't know, there's no market like industry standard pricing for what we do.
Yeah.
If you're a contract worker, you know, if you have a very specific role in a union film role, then yes, you have day rates that are standard. They're set in stone. You can't really move on them.
Yep.
But if you're managing the whole process, there's a lot more that goes into it, and you should get paid more than just a cinematographer's day rate.
Yeah.
If you're also the person booking the shoot, the person being on the phone calls, the person coming up with creative, the person like coming up with the schedule, managing the schedule, shooting, audio, editing, shipping, like that's what we do.
Yep.
And so I honestly have no idea what like thought process went behind that.
Yeah.
It was more of a combination of like, we have a general ballpark of what makes sense to us. So we'll kind of get a decent idea of how much time the shoot's going to take. And then we'll just pitch a number that we come up with and agree on.
Yep.
Which kind of worked. I mean, we had
for
clients
a little bit
that took it, we did it, and we got through our first year in business doing it that way.
Yeah.
And there was a point in time where we realized we'd had a few clients that would ask us for clarification or, you know, well, can you send me a breakdown of, you know, why it cost that?
Yeah.
Well, not really. So we'll just put together like, oh, it's because it's 2 days and that's how much our day rate is.
Yeah.
And it just still wasn't all that great. And I remember, I can't remember who sent it to us actually.
Yeah, I don't either.
We were sent somewhat of like an outline of how a person builds out their contracts. I think it was actually Matt O'Brien.
Oh, probably.
So shout out to you, Matt, again. He was who showed us ChronoSync, but he helped us kind of learn how to price our services. And what we ended up landing on and what we still use today is essentially a numbers spreadsheet that we built out what needed to go in there. And then I did all the nerdy stuff of putting in formulas and taxes and so that it would automatically add all of your totals.
Yep.
And we'll just break this down for you. Super simple. And then we'll talk about how it helps us. So what it is basically just a numbers spreadsheet, has 3 sections. The top section is our gear. So everything that we own is listed on that sheet. And with quantities, how many we have, how many we're going to bring for that shoot, how many days that the equipment is needed for, and what that equipment's day rental price is. So it really makes it easy to say, okay, this shoot, we need 2 cameras, 2 monitors, 2 lenses, and a couple tripods. Okay, cool. We'll customize that and then send them a price that they can literally see exactly what gear they're getting on that shoot.
How do we determine the pricing of the day rates of the gear?
Yeah, so there's different, like, people disagree and agree on if it's 5% or whatever. But we just kind of looked at different rental sites, what they would rent a kit out for. Yep. And we base our rental prices off of that. So you could go to like borrowlenses.com or ShareGrid or whatever. Yeah. And just look at what would it cost you, because really that's what you're charging them. Is you're charging them, if you owned no gear, you needed to rent all of the gear to bring along with you at the shoot, which a lot of people do that. Yeah. A lot of people don't own the camera that they shoot with. They just rent it per project, and that makes sense. And so that's essentially what you're doing, is you're charging that client for the wear and tear that you're going to do on the camera or whatever piece of gear it is, because over the course of 100 shoots, like, your gear will get damaged and need replaced, and you shouldn't be the one to pay for that. That's all just negative profit if you're paying for that yourself and not charging that to your clients.
Right.
And so that's the first section.
Yep.
Is all of your gear and what the price is. Everything's broken out per day. So we tell our clients that we only charge in half-day increments. Because that was another thing that we ran into where, like, to do a 30-minute shoot, it's not just 30 minutes of time. So I'm not going to bill you for a 10th or a 20th of a day.
Totally.
Because we need to set up, we need to prepare the gear, clean, make sure it's clean, make sure everything's ready to go, and then go to the shoot, tear everything down, bring it back, make sure batteries are, like, there's a whole process that's involved in that.
Yeah, so that really gets us in a sticky, or always got us in a sticky bind when someone's like, hey, it's just a quick little 30 minutes. I'm like, oh yeah, no problem, that's easy. Like, Austin, you just go to this shoot real quick and just get the B-roll we need and it'll be a quick little 30 minutes. Well, then we're charging like $200 and we're like, this doesn't make any sense. Mm-hmm. And so finally, like, thank God we just took kind of over the film day rate kind of concept and model, because anything we shoot from 1 minute up until 4 hours, that's a half day.
Yep.
And if it's 8 hours or more, then that's a full day, or up to 8 hours, it's a full day. And if it's anything after that, we can discuss and kind of figure out, oh, it's going to be 9 hours. We're not going to, it's very, very per project basis. But at that point, we don't like to nickel and dime our clients, but for weddings, it's a different story because we do stay longer than 8 hours usually, but that's a whole separate part of our business.
Yeah.
And with a commercial shoot, that's more like the half full day rate, which we can get into a little bit more, but.
Yeah, we're mostly discussing like business content, events. Weddings are a little bit different. We have a flat rate for weddings.
Yeah.
That we have an exact kit of gear that you're getting.
Yeah.
To shoot. So it's like very cut and dry with weddings.
Yeah.
Because typically every wedding needs the same gear, the same people, and it's a lot different for corporate stuff. It could vary really wildly between projects. Mm-hmm. So that's section 1, gear. Section 2 is just additional rentals. So that's where we would build in anything that we need to rent. We don't use it super heavily because for 95% of the projects that we do, we've acquired the kit that we need to take to do that.
Yep.
And so the rental we're really not profiting on. So we would rather use our own gear and make that rental money and get to keep that and reinvest it into more gear.
Totally.
And replacing old gear as it gets broken or wears down, whatever. So additional gear, if you do need stuff, the recommendation I would have is think about the project critically, and you can even present like, here's one that's like, this will get the job done. However, maybe here's a little bit bigger proposal because I have some rental items in there that I think will make the project this much better, and here's why.
Yeah.
So that's a way that you can kind of get your projects up in price a little bit.
Yeah.
So additional equipment, that's pretty easy. Mm-hmm. And then the third section is crew. So that's people that are coming to set. So I have a few of like the standard, AC, audio technician. So a few of like the standard roles that we would bring with us to a set that are on there. And I have kind of placeholder day rates for them. Typically, if you're contracting someone out, they would have a day rate that they would send you that you would agree upon. And that's pretty cut and dry there. So, but for us, we have day rates for ourselves as well. And for our employee, Bray. And obviously they're not the same. So that would make sense. Like, we've done it longer, have a bigger skill set. So therefore you would pay more to bring us to set than you would just someone to operate a camera or somebody that we'd bring from church just to hold the camera.
Yeah.
And so, that's pretty much the breakdown of the sheet, and it totals everything, for you. So you just plug and play. You say, hey, I need a DP and I need a director for one full day. Also in the crew category is also pre-production, post-production, music licensing, things like that.
Yep.
That we also charge to the client, because if we ran into the case with several projects where we felt like we were doing a whole day of upfront work that we weren't getting paid for.
Yep.
And so now if we have a project that requires that, now not all of them do, but if we have a project that we know we're going to have to put a bunch of time into on the front end, we will put pre-production in there, send it over as a proposal, and go from there. Yeah,
no, that's really great. And because of that, it's really been awesome. People can hit us up and we can get them over this a proposal quite quickly, and it just eliminates all of the weird stuff. Like, hey, this is what it is. This is why. And if you want line by line item, you can literally read this sheet and you'll see why. We're not, screwing people over, just upcharging to upcharge. We actually have a reason behind every charge. And I believe that our prices are very competitive and very pretty standard to what the industry and our kind of companies are charging. And so it's been just really, really great to be able to showcase that and be like, hey, I see here that you have 2 shooters here, 2 cameras, 2 lights, and this. I don't think it's necessary that we need this, and this. Could we maybe rework it? Yeah, absolutely. And we'll kill that, and we'll explain to them if we disagree too. We'll say, hey, we actually do need 2 shooters there. You're gonna really have to educate them on why we proposed or put together the proposal like we did, because we want the best quality product for them. We're not just like adding shooters to add a couple bucks to the proposal. So yeah, the sheet has been super, super helpful.
Yeah. And another thing it helps with too is you'll have clients all the time that will say, hey, I have this much as a budget. So another thing that really helps to do also is, okay, now I have a starting point. What can I trim off of this? What can I rework within this proposal? Not pricing wise necessarily, but just maybe we don't need another shooter, or maybe we can run and gun audio and just lav you up instead of having a boom operator. So these are all things that not only will help us feel confident in explaining our pricing, but also if somebody says, hey, I have $3,000, I need to make this project happen, then we can build out that proposal and say, okay, here's what we can do for that amount. If you want more than this, then it's going to be more expensive, more of an investment for you. And that makes sense to every client we've ever explained it to.
100%. As you can see, we've really worked through this and we've, dialed it in, and it's been such a help to run our company. So having this document has really changed everything for us. We're able to be confident. We know what we're worth, what our time is worth, what our gear is worth for rental. And it's really an easy breakdown for each client to look at. And so it's made a huge difference. So I would think that because we use this platform and this podcast to add value to the people that listen, maybe we should offer them our blank canvas for them to use.
Yeah, for sure. We'll include it in the link. I'll make a blank one. I'll even leave the current gear that we have, because I know some of you may use the same gear or similar setups, and then you can just literally take it and change it to what fits you.
Yeah.
As far as like the day rates and stuff, we can't tell you what that should be.
Yeah.
That's something you need to go find out for yourself, research, play around with. You can test different stuff, but just be confident in it when you pitch it to a client. Don't let them know that you aren't super confident in your pricing.
Right.
Because if you know that you can put out a good product and you're confident in your skills and abilities, then you're worth what you're going to charge them.
100%.
And so, we'll include that template that you can just download and fill in yourself. That you can use to send proposals to clients.
Yeah. Well, we just hope that this episode will really encourage you to get your pricing right, to kind of figure out what you're worth, what your gear's worth, what you're charging and why you're charging it. And not only that, but you're able to confidently approach your clients and say, hey, this is how much the video is and why, and send over that proposal with confidence, with boldness, and it's just going to change everything. So I hope that this helps you. Austin is going to put together a blank proposal sheet.
Yeah, we'll just put it in the link wherever it is.
So we'll get that
description in YouTube or
so wherever the link is, we'll slap that bad boy in there so you guys can download that and you can customize it and kind of get it. But I think it'll be a great starting block for you to start thinking about what you need to charge for your company. So hopefully that will help you be confident in what you charge in your company.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. And if you're on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, we would appreciate it if you leave us a rating. Let us know what you think. Let us know what questions you have. We're always here to help. And until next time, we are the Glory Boys, and this is the Glory Boys podcast. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we will see you in the next episode.
Peace.